Hey, it's Kyle Leon here. Vince called and asked me to do a short video for you today talking about the 3 techniques that I personally use with success to help pack on lean muscle without fat. So, I'm going to stay within the most important topic of all when it comes to physique development. This topic, of course, is nutrition. Now, you've probably heard a million times that nutrition is by far the biggest factor in how you look. You've probably heard sayings like, abs are made in the kitchen, and you can't out-train a bad diet. And the reason why you've heard these sayings are because they're true. If you ask any fitness model or bodybuilder what the most important factor is in how you look, that's exactly what you'll be told. Now, I'm a nutrition guy, and I can talk nutrition with you for hours. But what I want to do today is cover the main topic that I feel will benefit you the most with the information I can give you. This topic is called systematic nutritionism. This just means optimizing our nutrition to maximize muscle without fat. Now, when we're trying to build muscle without fat, you've undoubtedly heard about protein. And yes, I understand protein is important, okay? Protein is the building block of muscle, and protein is important to keep high regardless of whether or not you're trying to build muscle or lose fat. But getting your ideal protein intake down, and fat intake down for that matter, is not challenging. You're going to be able to accomplish that fairly easily. What is a little bit of a different story, though, is your carbohydrate intake. Now, keeping that in mind, let's dive into 3 techniques of systematic nutritionism. 1. Carbohydrate capitalization. This technique is used with a lot of success by many people. Basically, this technique involves structuring the majority of your daily carbohydrates around your workouts, pre and post-workout. If you're looking for a rule of thumb, I would go 70-30. That means 70% of your daily carbohydrates should be consumed throughout your pre and your post-workout window. The other 30% preferably would come first thing in the morning. 2. Somatify your nutrition. This just means adjusting your nutrition to your somatotype. Body type is another word for somatotype, and you might have heard of the 3 basic body types by now, which are ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph. All of the different body types that you haven't heard of do play a difference. You see, on that pendulum of ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph, in between there are many different variations of body types that a lot of people have not talked about yet, and only some of the higher world-renowned nutritionists and sports nutritionists are identifying the way these different body types react to different nutrients, especially carbohydrates. Carbohydrates tend to affect the different body types in a more drastic manner than other macronutrients. So keeping that in mind, I'd like to give you a few tips that might help you maximize lean muscle gains without fat, even though I don't know you or your body type. If you're on the ectomorphic side, meaning that you have a very difficult time putting on weight, putting on muscle, and you're naturally very, very skinny, small bones, small wrists, you're going to benefit from really manipulating your higher glycemic carbohydrates, especially around your workout windows. You can afford to go higher glycemic carbohydrates and higher content of your carbohydrates throughout your day. That's the one macronutrient that I would look to manipulate if you're not moving towards your physique development goals. So if week after week goes by and you're not gaining like you should, that's the one macronutrient I'd go into my diet plan and I would ramp that up as aggressively as I can until I start noticing that I'm putting on fat. That being said, if you're conversely on the endomorphic side and you put on fat easily, you're in a different boat. You're very, very sensitive to carbohydrate intake. You need to be very careful about your utilization of carbohydrates, and you should specifically stick to complex carbohydrates surrounding your workout. But other than that, you don't really want to dive into any high glycemic carbohydrates and really lay off the carbohydrates at other times of the day. Now, that being said, I think we're in a good place for you to understand that there's different body types out there that respond differently to certain nutrition plans, and finding the right nutrition plan for your body type is probably something that you should invest some time towards by measuring your results of your current nutrition plan if you're not moving towards your physique development goals quickly. 3. Adjust your nutrition to your weight training regimen. This is one mistake that's easily avoided that I see a lot of guys making that's actually hurting themselves more than they understand. You see, you could have the very best generic, meal plan from a book, magazine, or online report that says, I'm supposed to have this meal 1, this meal 2, this meal 3. As you know, it's not customized for you, for your body type, but it's also not customized for your weight training regimen. You need to understand and adapt and adjust your nutrition to your weight training regimen. A lot of guys will work out at night, but then not have their post-workout carb meal and not have their post-workout protein intake like they should because they feel it's late at night and they don't want to put on fat. That's not how it works. You need to go ahead and have a proper pre- and post-workout nutrition meal set up for you no matter what time you're working out. That's the main message I wanted to discuss with you about adjusting your nutrition to your training regimen. I think those 3 tips will help you. I know they helped me. I hope they help you the same way they helped me. With all of that being said, the last piece of advice that I want to leave you with is this. Go ahead and measure your results no matter what plan you're on, no matter what training or nutrition plan you're on. Everybody's different. This is why some of the best pro bodybuilders and fitness models hire professional nutrition and training coaches to adapt the programs to them. You can't just blindly follow something if it's not working for you. Your job is to measure your results and adjust accordingly. The nutrition tips that I've given you today, I think will help you go into your plan, your nutrition plan, and adjust some things to see if that makes a difference if you're not already experiencing the results that you want. But the idea is, make sure you measure your results. After a few weeks, if it's not working, change. We're all about evolving and changing and learning what's best for our particular bodies, our training schedules, and our work schedules, our life. Everything needs to be adjusted for what's best for us. You can't blindly follow something and just hope that one day it's going to start working for you. I think that, I don't want to sound like a preachy or anything like that, but this is important stuff to me that when I learned it, really helped. And I hope that I was able to help you in any way that I could. Thank you very, very much for your time. I hope that was helpful, and we'll talk to you soon.